Shall we begin?
Pretty incredible. And did you catch that? Hidden within our regional celebrations like what we saw at Greenstown, there are 7 glyphs. These glyphs, when combined and decoded, produce one word. Can you decode the dream? Find all 7 glyphs, then use the cipher we'll show at the end of this stream to reveal the anagram you need to unscramble and solve. All right, once you have that, then you tweet the keyword that includes the hashtag Solve4X and hashtag sweepstakes to be entered to win our Hero Prize Bundle, which includes everything you need for the ultimate gaming setup for you and a friend, including a new Xbox Series X, a 4K TV, a Samsung Note 20 Ultra, a Razer Kishi controller, and 24 months of Game Pass Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. There will also be 7 runner-ups who will get an Xbox Series X console and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Get ready to solve for X.
Over the last year, we've seen gamers contribute to so many crucial charitable causes through Xbox, and we wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, thank you, thank you. This year, the Xbox gaming community showed up and raised over $4 million for important causes. In the spirit of Giving with Xbox and Powering Dreams, we're donating $250,000 around the world to power the dreams of local nonprofits who are delivering vital support for local communities. We've partnered with Soft Giving to fundraise for Make-A-Wish International. At Xbox, we care so deeply about all the members of our community, and we want to invest in your local community with causes that are important to you. Each person that donates is automatically entered into a sweepstakes. All throughout the stream, every 15 minutes, we'll be giving away a 3-month Game Pass Ultimate subscription, as well as a few of HyperX Alpha Gold headsets. To donate, please go to xbox.softgiving.com.
You're just gonna say some stuff.
All I wanted to be was a hero. I saw my life's path ahead of me.
Ichi, would you be willing to get arrested for the family? Reputation is everything. If a Yakuza shows weakness, he's done.
I've been waiting to open this door for 18 years.
Here comes the hot stepper.
A dream is what keeps you going. So I say you do it, just like you wanted. Become a hero. Let's start a brand new age of heroes.
Well, this just got complicated.
No, we don't hide. Yes, we must reply.
You always attract the weirdos.
My lady say,
Time to call a friend! You sure know how to make an
here
entrance.
come the hot stepper. I'm the little gangster.
You can tell us what the hell is going on here.
Get this man a diaper. Huh?
Yeah, man. So what do
I'm sure all of us here are a little crazy, but that's the best part of being friends. Let's get nutty!
Play it on the all-new Xbox.
We're very excited about this title. I know the guy sitting to my left is excited for this title.
Very excited.
And I gotta say, having watched that, it is one of the wildest games I've ever seen for Xbox. Yakuza Like a Dragon looks like it's got something for literally everyone. I'm looking at you, Fighting Crawfish. Here to tell us more about the latest entry into this cult classic series, senior producer Scott Strickert. Scott, welcome to the stream.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh man, thank you for being here. And I will say thank you for making Jeff's day come true. But we'll get to some of that a little bit later. That's the one. It is. Now, for someone who's never played Yakuza, the Yakuza title, of course, that storied franchise, what should they know about the series before they jump right in?
This one is one of the ones that you can almost pretty much jump right into because it's a brand new head protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga, set in a brand new city of Yokohama, Japan, and also it's a brand new action turn-based battle system.
All right, so we're looking at live gameplay here right now, right? So tell us, this is, if you've played, let's say, Yakuza 0, you've played Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2, which are part of Xbox Game Pass, you should do that right now. I don't know why you're watching the show. This looks a lot different than what you're used to, but at the same time, there's a lot of familiar things. And tell us about how you turn this into an RPG without losing the flavor and what makes Yakuza Yakuza.
We've absolutely taken the Yakuza formula, which is, a pretty high octane kind of battle system, and turned that into what you'd expect from an RPG. And the marriage of those two systems is this. You get a lot of really crazy kind of battles. It hasn't lost that Yakuza spirit at all. It's very fast paced. It's still got some action elements to it. There's just a lot going on, and it's really fun.
I like that. There's a lot going on. Yeah, no kidding, Scott. There is a lot going on in that trailer we just saw, and I don't know. It's like there's a part of me trying to figure out what to even start and unpack. But Jeff, our resident expert here, I feel like this is a great time. You're looking at gameplay. What's your first impression here? What's your thing that you're pulling out?
Well, I gotta say, you guys are way further in the game than I am. So I'm like, you get 7 people? So we could talk about the party system. We could talk about how great the game looks. I'm assuming you're playing in, there's a couple different, there's like high resolution mode. I think you're in sort of the normal performance mode. And the game it is the best looking Yakuza game to date. I don't think there's any debate about that. But where to start? Why don't we start with like the new locale, which is Yokohama. We've been in Tokyo and Kamurocho for the previous Yakuza games, and also spending some time down in Sotenbori. But this is a new place, and I can tell I'm like maybe 10 hours in, and I have seen very little of what there is to offer in the town. Mostly because if I cross this one street, all the goons are like super tough and they will kick my butt.
Just like real life.
Just like real life.
Tell us about Yokohama.
Yeah, so it's our brand new city. Ichiban gets dumped off here very early in the game. I won't spoil that, but the impetus for going to Yokohama, we've got these 3 factions that are essentially fighting for control over Yokohama. And when Ichiban kind of gets involved in their drama, and as you've been talking about, this city is massive. It's 3 times the size of Kamurocho if you've been exploring that. And you can essentially take on these different various factions as you kind of cross into the different areas. So there's a commercial district, there's a homeless district, there's a uptown and a low town and a park, and kind of these different factions control different areas. And yes, if you aren't strong enough to go there, you should not go there.
Yeah, you should definitely pay attention. It'll say in the neighborhood how many stars are there, and that's how difficult it will be there. And if you ignore it, you lose half your money when
Is he
you
dance
battle.
fighting?
Let's talk about this.
Can you bring me through here? I'm both intrigued and very concerned.
So yes, there's a whole RPG-based job system in our game. You can essentially unlock and change jobs, but of course, in your classic RPGs, you have fighter, thieves, mages, and those kinds of things, right? But you take that and apply it to the real world, and as a result, we've got musicians and breakdancers and idols and you name it, it's here. There's just a lot of jobs that you can level up, and it's what makes it really cool is just that you go in expecting like a warrior and a thief, and you're like, okay, I know how these jobs play. I know what to do with a thief. He's going to steal something. Whereas you go to a musician, and you're like, I'm not sure what this guy's going to do at all, or this breakdancer, what are his moves going to be like? And the more you level them up, the more zany they get.
So we see these QTEs here, and moving from a series that had been known all about brawlers and really like action, and you kind of needed some stamina to like fight some of these tougher characters and dodging out of the way and blocking at the right time. And I was wondering how that would translate to a game where like if whoever's steering the game right now puts the controller down, like the game would effectively stop if it's your turn. However, when you're into it, this is not something you can sort of sleepwalk through these battles. There's a lot of times you want to hit the timing exactly right, like right there, you hit the Y button for more battle. That's a tough folk singer right there. And I actually got super into like on the defensive side, you've got to hit B at like just the right time, and you can do sort of perfect blocks. So it is while it's a turn-based RPG, this is not just like, all right, I'll just hit A and I'll just go to the next thing and select and select and select.
I'll take it.
Right. Yeah, it does keep you on your toes. That's kind of that marriage I was talking about. It's just we took an action system and applied that to an RPG system so that you can, it's not going to be passive. You are going to want to think about where the people are positioned and how your guys are interacting with each other. Even in the sense that if you put yourself between a traffic cone or a sign and you between the enemy, you can weave that into your attack. You'll just pick up that traffic cone and automatically wallop some dudes with it. So it's not just a sleepwalk through a battle system kind of thing.
Well, here's a question that I know is ripe on Jeff's mind. Ripe on a mind? That's a thing?
No.
Okay,
Let's not try to make that a thing.
Okay. Guess there goes Fletch, too. Anyway, I will say, we've seen party members here. How do party members join the campaign? Talk to me about that aspect.
Right. So you're going to be recruiting this ragtag team of down and out kind of guys. Your first friend is essentially a homeless dude that you kind of befriend as you are dropped off in this homeless camp, and then you befriend this ex-cop, and it's just this group of people who have been on the downside of the socioeconomic thing in Japan, and together you find a common cause, and your team just grows and grows and grows because Kasuga here is actually a very charismatic dude. He has a lot of things about him that just draw people to him, I guess. He's that type of protagonist, and we spend a long time at the beginning of the game really building up him and his backstory and teaching you kind of what Kasuga is all about. We're a very narrative heavy game. It's a lot of cutscenes. It's a lot, you can settle down with your drink of choice that you might want to sip and sit down at the beginning of the game, and then the deeper you get, the more it rewards you.
That drink is probably in the game, by the way, because there's all kinds of real Japanese brands in there that I wish I could get a hold of right now. So let's talk about Kasuga. Ichiban Kasuga is the hero here. We're used to seeing Kiryu Kazuma from the previous games. This is like a new starting point, and you're building him up from nothing. So I want to talk about him, and then I also want to talk about the voice acting as well. So why don't we talk about Kasuga the character, and then we'll talk about who's bringing them to life.
Sure. Kasuga is he's a optimistic young yakuza who grew up playing JRPGs, his favorite game, Dragon Quest, and that informs his life.
Like
that
me.
informs kind of his.
Just a bio of
Yeah,
it's okay to admit I was the inspiration. It's okay.
Absolutely. We base Ichiban Kasuga on Jeff, and no. He he's got this mindset about him where he's everything he's learned about positivity and being a hero is essentially taken from JRPGs that he grew up with, which is informs what he sees. When you get into these battles, they're kind of through the lens of Kasuga, in that he's seeing a battle play out like a JRPG. So of course the game had to be an RPG. That's how he sees battles play out in his head. And as a result, Kasuga is, like I said, he's this ex-Yakuza. He doesn't really know what to do with his life. Very early on in the game, there's a situation he gets in with his boss that betrays him, and now you kind of have Kasuga kind of looking to find a purpose, and it's in all these other people and all these ragtag group of people that he recruits into his party that where he finds that.
Well, we can talk
ahead.
about the voices, but since we're here in like one of these like Sega arcades, I just love that, when you're thinking about like, a gangster story, you might be thinking of, Goodfellas or something,
Sure.
and this is a game. Good grab. You can grab a puppy out of a crane machine.
I mean,
there's something.
Is there anything better?
Are you sure that how long did you practice that to be able to get that on the first try? Because that I would drop a lot of yen into that.
That is achievement unlocked.
We're all getting a lot of achievements here today. So let's talk about what's bringing this to life. So in the previous Yakuza games, they were all in with Japanese language with subtitles, and that's how you've gotten to know those characters. And we spoke actually a few weeks ago on the Xbox podcast with Major Nelson, and we met Keiji Tang, who is voicing the English language character of Kasuga. And like when we first booked that interview, I was like, oh, that's nice. Somebody will use that. Not me. But because we met him and he's really nice, I was like, we'll start it up and I'll put it on English to start, because I'm a nice guy. I met him.
Sure.
And he's amazing. He's really good. And I have continued to play the game in Japanese. I've noticed that he really brings Kasuga to life in just like a phenomenal way. And I know I'm losing my standing here with the Yakuza community by playing in English. But I just wanted to say it's a phenomenal job. And I also wanted to call it George Takei from Star Trek, and is the voice of Arakawa. And this is not like you've probably seen like, oh my, like sort of zany George Takei. This is serious George Takei, and he delivers an amazing performance that like sort of haunts you afterwards. He's seen a lot of stuff, and it's really impressive the level. And this is a lot of what you do, I know, Scott. So talk about the effort that went into the localization here, and especially now in English voice.
It's not like that was.
Yeah, so we decided to bring an English dub to this primarily because it's a whole new cast. I don't think we would have ever touched that with Kazuma Kiryu and the team, kind of who are, those guys are the fan favorites, and you establish what those Japanese voices are because they're part and parcel with those characters, right? But here we saw an opportunity to bring an English cast here to, hope widen the door a little bit. I think that there's some people out there who are, obviously the core fans are going to be like, this is the game that you play in Japanese, and that's perfectly understandable. But the opportunity to bring in more fans with an English dub to particularly, make it a little easier to access, and then you can flip languages whenever you want if you ever want to go back to the Japanese, because the Japanese performances are equally as amazing, if not more so. So our English cast, like you said, we've got some big heavy hitters here. We go to all links just to make sure that we're capturing the Japanese essence. This happens. I can't tell you how many interviews I've been on and seen Kasuga get hit by a car and just get absolutely off train. I'm so.
He heals quick.
He's clearly walking it off. Hey, here's a question for you. So we were just talking about, the fans primarily and fans of the series, as Jeff would mention. Are there any familiar areas that we'll be visiting from past games that we want to make sure we mention?
Oh, absolutely. You start the game off in Kamurocho. You're starting the game off in a flashback to the year 2000. So that's going to feel really familiar. And that's what this game does so well, is it pulls you into that familiar and then pulls you right back out of it. And so we do have Sotenbori. There's a quick trip there, and Kamurocho. And obviously there's some familiar mini games like karaoke. It's back in a brand new way with English singing throughout. If you've chosen the English voice track, we have over 15 different mini games, some returning, some new, and it's you will feel right at home in a Yakuza game, regardless of the of the new city and the character.
All right, so we're running low on time here. I could watch you play this all the time, and I think this will be one of those games you'll jump into. Without any spoilers, we were going to ask you about characters from previous games. I hadn't seen the trailer that we just showed here. I don't know who chose Ini Kamosi, Here Comes the Hot Stepper, but it completely worked. The trailers, whoever's putting the trailers together on this campaign, have been phenomenal throughout the start. And at the end, we saw somebody that's familiar, so I think it's safe to say we will see some familiar faces. I won't say any more than that, because you want those to hit a little. You want them to hit hard in the moment. So, Scott, thank you so much, and whoever's playing the game, well done. Sorry about the running into the car, but thank you so much for joining us and walking our viewers through the very crazy, very wild, and yet incredibly compelling Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Now, France is home to some of the most incredible art on the planet. Everybody knows that. And sometimes life imitates art. Here's a look at how France celebrated launch, which also means it's clue time.
Second service number on Walk-in 1709 Barlow.
At the Xbox Global Celebration to give you an exclusive sneak peek at my new movie, Free Guy. I'm also here to support a cause I believe in, NPC appreciation. After walking a mile in the shirt of an NPC, I have a whole new perspective on video games. And gone are the days of solely praising the main character, the hero, the name in lights, even though he might be the one who takes the arrows when things go wrong and who put in a few decades of soul-destroying Hollywood work fueled by his own insecurities and anxiety. Anyway, please enjoy this clip from Free Guy. My name is Guy, and I live in Free City. Mondays, am I right, Joe? You said it, Guy.
Guy, listen carefully. You're a character in a video game.
So the entire world is fake, and I'm a character in the background.
Yes.
He's just an NPC. Waste.
Hey! Today's gonna be different. Starting now. Who is this guy?
I'm sorry. This game character has been turning heads by being the good guy.
Who is Blue Shirt Guy?
You're right. Who is he or she, indeed?
This loser is ruining my game.
I don't care if he's Arnold frickin' Schwarzenegger. Terminate him.
It's the first time I've ever driven a car before.
I really wish you'd mention that. Yeah.
One of the best things we brought to Xbox last generation was Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. You can play over 100 high-quality games on console, PC, and the beta app on Android mobile devices, all for one low monthly price. With new games being added all the time, did you see Tetris Effect today? There's something for everyone. members can play new Xbox Game Studios titles the same day they release, plus a catalog of recent hits and a variety of games from our publishing partners. And now with EA Play, members get more than 60 of EA's biggest and best console and PC games, exclusive in-game challenges and rewards, special members-only content, and access to trials of select games. With Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you get more than just a library of great games. It also includes all of the benefits of Xbox Live Gold. You can also enjoy free perks along with discounts on games and game add-ons. In fact, yesterday, we announced a new perk for our Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members. We are offering new Disney Plus subscribers 30 days of Disney Plus. With this perk, Ultimate members will be able to stream endless entertainment from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic. Epic movies, series, and originals from the world's best storytellers, including the new season of The Mandalorian, are waiting. If you join Xbox Game Pass Ultimate now, you get your first month for just $1. So here's a look at how you can watch the newest season of The Mandalorian with Disney Plus.
When we game, we dream. And for many of us, especially our team at Xbox, we dream of games. Thanks to the Xbox Series X, we're dreaming bigger this year than we ever thought possible. To celebrate, we decided to create something special. Introducing the Xbox Series X Dreamscape Adventure, an interactive web experience that will take you on a lucid dream journey inspired by this year's biggest next-gen games. Will you wield stasis or explore Night City? Become a Viking or fight the Maw? Choose your path in the Xbox Series X Dreamscape Adventure at dreamscape.xbox.com.
All right, so we're dropping. It looks like we are dropping in Power Grid. We'll go again. I like being the polar bear. Who doesn't want to get killed by a bear? Ooh, get me out of here. No. Oh, come on. Dropping hot, baby.
One down.
Nice. Let's go find some more people to fight. No. Oh my god. I'm here. I'm getting you. We're in a good spot. 3 kills, 3 squads left. All these death boxes around. Only one other squad. Let's go. I don't know where they are though.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to the yard. Coming to Grounded Early Access. And yes, we're still in early access. Comes an update that lets you go deeper than ever before. New secrets to discover. New items to craft. New enemies to face. With some old favorites that luckily can't swim. Oh, they can swim. And of course, that big-ass fish. Play together and bond to survive the pond.
The fans. All right. So much excitement going on. The fans are excited. I'm excited. I had an energy drink. We're going to get into some
I can
Grounded.
tell.
But first, hey fans at home, just a reminder that we're bringing our fans together virtually through an Xbox Fan Mosaic. To participate, go to fanmosaic.com/Xbox-fan-mosaic and share your gaming selfie. Now, whether it be a current photo of you and your current Xbox or of you playing an Xbox game watching live stream, share your selfie celebration with us. We're watching the Mosaic come together over the stream, and it's looking good, as we can see here. Now, let's shift gears. If you crossed a survival game with a 1980s kids adventure movie, you'd probably get something along the lines of Grounded, which launched this summer in Steam Early Access, Xbox Game Preview, and of course, Xbox Game Pass. Not only is there a whole bunch of content coming to Grounded, it's also being optimized for Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S.
Absolutely. And now joining us today to tell us more about the future of Grounded, we got Adam Brannicky and Shyla Schofield. Shyla, Adam, welcome to the stream.
Yes.
Hi. Thanks for having us. Super excited. Today is super exciting, and I'm so glad that we're here.
Yes, lots of fun. We can't wait.
Absolutely. And you know what? I can't wait. Let's fire up that game while we fire up some questions.
Indeed.
Starting with one that I think a lot of Obsidian fans are curious about. You guys are known for your expertise in RPGs, but let's talk about going into survival. More importantly about Grounded here.
Yeah, so it definitely is a very unusual game for us at Obsidian, but we are huge survival game fans, and we've been wanting to make a survival game for a long time. And we wanted to put our own unique Obsidian spin on the survival genre. And thankfully, everyone at Obsidian and at Xbox were very supportive of us working on this game. It's very experimental. We're having a lot of fun with it, and we're so super glad that everyone else is having a lot of fun with it too.
I got to tell you, the first time I jumped in this game, it was so incredibly unique, like you said, and of course, Obsidian has a track record like no other. So I'm excited to, more people to play the game. Now, immediately when you look at the game, you can kind of see, whether it be the clothing or anything else, this game has a lot of inspirations from 80s and 90s. How do you all land on that?
Yeah, so I think it's one of those things that I grew up during that time, and I just really loved that, when I first started gaming, it was during that time, and it was kind of a special time for myself and a lot of the team members. But also, it's just like that time before cell phones, before the internet, where we could just all go outside and just have fun as kids, and we just wanted to bring that feel back with Grounded.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, one, I love the fact that you're using your life as the inspiration and saying, I grew up in that time, so I want to make a game like that. It's so cool. And I love also, of course, the point of, before cell phones, we actually got out and adventured, right? And so now we're just like in our phone all day.
And it's a special time for us. And I think there's also a lot of just cool stuff, like really goofy, things that we put into the world as well, that we just got inspired by that time period. So just like the costumes of the characters, a lot of the fun stuff that you can find in Grounded definitely has that like nostalgia from that time period.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I mean, we're looking at incredible gameplay here right now. And while we do, I want to ask a little bit about what people have been saying, what you've been learning about the game from being specifically in early access and Xbox Game Preview.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. We're getting so much good feedback. We, as a team, we love just watching people play the game as well, and just seeing like how they experience the backyard for the very first time. And we're talking every day about everyone's play experience and just making the game better and better based on everyone's feedback. And I just want to thank everyone too for playing the game and helping us out develop it. And I think I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think it's a great experience so far. And I want to continue building the game with the community and with all our fans.
That's the way to do it, build a game with the fans, and I love Xbox Game Preview for allowing that to be the case. Now, speaking of feedback and sentiment, I want to give some sentiment. First time I played the game and I saw a spider, I was terrified. And I'm not a guy who gets terrified by spiders at all, but the way you all, I don't know if it's the scale of the spiders, you all did a great job in eliciting some fear from people. Were you surprised that so many people were talking about the spiders?
No, not at all. They're definitely scary. Even on the team, like we've had some jump scares just in the, from team members where someone just like shrieks out loud while playing the game. And even the 100th time playing, you'll still get scared by the spiders. We did a great job with it, and I think it's just something that we love seeing that reaction from people, and it's just a really fun thing to see as a game developer.
I was going to say, it's really a testament to how immersive your gameplay is that people start screaming in the middle of this survival game. Let's talk upgrades, optimizations that Xbox Series X owners are going to see when they boot up and start up Grounded. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we're showing off gameplay right now running on a Series X, and we've been optimizing the game quite a bit. For the Series X and the Series S. So you'll see improved draw distances, improved shadow quality, and it's running at a silky smooth 60 FPS at 4K on the Series X. And it looks amazing. We also have added new HDR lighting. So the lighting just is popping now, and it looks super good. And I'm super impressed with the art team and the graphics programming team, what they put together. And then we've been optimizing the game a lot. So all those optimizations, if you're still playing on the Xbox One, all those optimizations will carry over, and even on the PC as well. So we are definitely, continuing to optimize the game and making the experience better and better.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at it right now, and both with Series X and Series S, like the visual fidelity is amazing, and seeing the light come through the murky water, it adds that extra atmospheric, tension in the game. You mentioned a little bit about, current gen owners of Xbox One. Are there any other things that you're doing to improve the experience for Xbox One players?
Yeah. As I said, we have HDR, so if you're still playing on the Xbox One, and we're going to continue to look at improvements during early access and game preview. So, we're not done developing it, and we're going to continue to optimize in all areas and add, graphics features as well. So we're definitely, continuing to develop the game, and I think it's just going to look better and better from here on out.
Well, I was going to say, talk about development and updates and everything. Don't be coy about this next
here we go.
question,
Here we go,
Adam.
Kate.
Hey, you know what? I was trying to fit in my dolphin sound during this water gameplay, but I did not. You're welcome.
Give it a shot.
So if you guys decide to go Grounded 2 and you're in the sea area, I got you.
Loved it.
Anyway, let's talk about the koi pond. What's going on with it?
Yeah, so our update today, we're releasing it today as well as the Series X and Series S version of the game, but the update today includes a koi pond. It's a huge, expansive area and biome in the backyard. So if you played the game already, there was like the skeleton of the koi pond there, but now it's fleshed out with tons of new content, new things to find, new explorable areas. And that also includes more crafting materials, more insects to battle, and it's a huge update that we've been working on, and we're really excited to finally show it off and have people play it.
Yeah, I think it really speaks to what you all are doing with Grounded, in the sense that it is a backyard, but there's so many things you could do in a backyard, and some of the expansions as far as the content and locations to explore. It's really clear through that and other things you all are adding to the game that this is just the beginning. So we're seeing gameplay right now of the underwater gameplay. What are some of the things that you're going to be able to do under there?
Yeah, so as I said, there's all new crafting in the koi pond. So you can craft a bunch of new weapons, a bunch of new items. First of all, you'll need to kind of increase your oxygen meter so you can explore down in the depths. And you can also craft flippers, which will make you swim faster to catch those water boatmen. Those are the creatures that are doing the little stroke right here in front of us. They're really fast and they're hard to catch unless you have flippers. And then there's a big beast of a creature, the koi fish, and the koi fish patrols this area. This is the koi fish's home, and you just really have to watch your back and watch out because the koi fish is big, and it's kind of a big beast that makes the koi pond its home.
It's like a koi fish blimp that just constantly circles.
It's clear that you all want us to live in fear while we're playing this
speaking
game.
of fear, okay, let's talk about arachnophobia, because why not?
Yeah.
Okay, because one of the other things that we do mention, of course, we talked about the spiders, but it's the spiders swimming and attacking underwater that really makes it juicy. I'm just curious if you had any second thoughts about that for some of us who may be a little bit scared of spiders, like Malik mostly. Mostly Malik, not
Only in the
me.
game, Kate. Only in the game.
I'm just asking if that was a thing.
When we heard about the diving bell spider during our research meetings, we're just like, we need to have this thing in the game. When we, swimming spiders, like who would have thought? But that there's a spider that swims and lives underwater, so why not add it to the game? And it just adds that extra level of like fear while you're swimming around. Not only do you have to deal with the koi fish, but you also have to deal with these diving bell spiders.
I was going to say, you're also dealing with darkness now, so just add it to the list, Adam. Thanks.
Yeah.
What a delight.
Thanks a lot, Adam.
Really appreciate it.
No, this is great. So you mentioned the koi fish and a bunch of the other insects that I'm sure you're going to add later on in the game. What are some of the equipment that players are going to have at their disposal when they're fighting some of these new creatures?
Yeah, so there's a new weapon. It's the trident. You can craft out of bone, and you have to find those bones. They're buried like deep under the water at the very bottom. So you have to kind of figure out how to get down there first, and that means you have to craft. We have a breathing apparatus, which is like the gill tube, and the gill tube lets you have extra oxygen, because that's one of those things that you're going to have to really pay attention to while you're swimming around is your oxygen level. And you need to upgrade that as much as you can so you can explore like every little nook and cranny of the pond. And we also have new armor set. So if you want to build a cool new set of armor, there's the koi fish scale armor, and it looks really, really cool as well.
Awesome. Well, we've been in the koi pond this whole time, and Malik and I, by the way, are just sitting here watching and sort of mesmerizing. So just what happens. At any rate, obviously, people that have played Grounded, they know about the base building. They know about, that home base. Excuse me. Can you tell us more about the new base building options here in Grounded?
Yes. And that's one thing that's super cool is you'll be able to get a floating foundation, and that will allow you to build on surface of the pond and any other water surface in the game. So if you want a big, kind of expansive, wide open area, so you don't have to cut down a bunch of grass to build your base, you can just do it right on the surface of the pond. And to do that, you'll have to find the upgrade to allow you to do that. And the materials are found in the koi pond as well. But that's just a cool new base building option for all those players that love building crazy and big bases. You'll have some new options for you to play around with.
Yeah, when the game first came out, it was really fun watching all the different bases that people built. And so I'm really excited to see all the new features you're going to have as it pertains to that. And so I just want to kind of go back to a little bit of the feedback loop that you have with the fans and playing the game. Obviously, you're talking about all the new content coming later down the road. What are some of the things that you all are personally excited to add to the game? Any specific features that you're like, I cannot wait till, if you can give us a little hint or teaser.
Yeah, for me personally, I think I'm really excited to, get the flying creatures in. I think that's, you can dive deep into the water, but when you're up in the air, like what's up there? So adding in, we're looking at introducing flying creatures pretty soon. We're working on that, and I think that's gonna also, if you're building bases up on top of objects and stuff to get up high, your base won't be safe if you build up there. So I think that's something that we're really excited to start working on and developing. And that includes bees, mosquitoes, and fireflies.
All the hits.
So I think yep, all the cool flying creatures, and I think that's also there's going to be a lot of crafting materials that you can find out of each one of those. So if you do find a firefly, you can craft some cool firefly gear too.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm just curious, actually. So you've obviously had a lot of people playing the game, obviously, and they're loving it. And I'm curious, is there anything you've been surprised by in terms of not just for their responses, but what users or gamers have actually done with the game? Maybe it's base building, maybe it's crafting. Is there anything that has stood out to you as a surprise?
I think everyone on the team is just super impressed and just amazed about the base building of the game. We never thought people would build such huge bases, and it's just amazing to see. Like, we introduced the zipline feature in our previous update, and just the creativity of players, it's just amazing. Like, we want to give the players as many tools as possible to be creative, and we just love seeing like all the different things that they build out of the toolbox that we give them, and it's so fun. And and continue sharing those. The team loves it. So if you do have an awesome base, show it off. And I think that's something that we're really, really proud of as a team, that we built up a game that allows such expressive creativity from our player base.
Yeah, some of the best games, I feel like, of the last generation, whether it be Minecraft, I mean, that game's been going on forever, have come from have really lived by the creativity of the player base. And it's so great to see people making them. A lot of those bases feel like they're bigger than my apartment here in Seattle, which is a little disheartening for me.
It's okay, but you live near a koi pond, though, so you should be just fine.
That's true.
Minus the darkness and the spiders.
Yeah, no, it's been rough. It's been
Story of
rough.
our life.
Anyway, Adam and Shyla, thank you so much for spending time to take us through Grounded. But before we say goodbye, I heard that one of the folks at Xbox is helping the Grounded team celebrate an exciting milestone. Let's take a look.
Yes.
Hi, my name's Adam Brennicke. I'm the game director.
5 million players.
Orange, California. We're here getting a tattoo of Burgle on Marcus Morgan, which is insane to me. I've shipped a lot of video games, and there's always a lot of speculation of how well title's gonna do before it ships. I lose a lot of sleep, and you have no idea, are people gonna like this? And so we kind of had a little side bet with Marcus. We said, like, hey, if Grounded has more than 1 million players, like, would you get a tattoo of Burgle? He's like, hey, like, if that happens, like, I'll get a tattoo. And we're like, okay, you're crazy.
48 hours after early access launch, we had 1 million players. So I was like, oh, let's up it to 5 million. And 2 months later, here we are. We're at 5 million now, and it's time to pay up. Burgle is the epitome of the spirit of that game. There's a little bit of weirdness to this burger flipping robots. There's a little bit of pizzazz to the fact that he has a rainbow colored mustache that lights up when he speaks. It's a really cool vibe and a good throwback to that late 80s, early 90s period that kind of speaks to just like what Grounded's about, which is this nostalgic kind of freedom.
All right, buddy, here we go. Let's do it. We wanted to capture that period of time before the internet and before we had cell phones where you could just go outside and have fun as a kid. So we just wanted to like pull that art style that we remember as kids into Grounded. We have a very small team, so each artist has a ton of responsibility and a ton of room to add their own unique flair and style into the game. Thankfully, Obsidian and Microsoft pretty much let us do whatever we wanted to do, and we just went wild with it.
Well, Adam seemed pretty set on a robot buddy, so Kaz and I spent some time noodling back and forth how to dig up a robot from our ancient memories, and you have what you have today, and what Marcus has today, now forever.
I'm trying to remember, like, why did we go like a rainbow mustache? Was there any thought behind that one?
Just to up his friendliness factor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tiny details start adding organically, and when you take a step back, suddenly you feel like there's someone in there. It kind of gives it a soul.
Yeah, this is when it was still stewing in Mitch's brain.
Mitch in particular was more worried about me winning this bet than I was, because he didn't want any of his artwork going on someone's body forever.
We're so happy that so many people have joined us in the backyard and have been able to experience the love that we put into Grounded. This is just the start, and we were just so overwhelmed with how many people wanted to try it out.
From everyone on the team, I think we just want to say thank you for playing, and we hope you never feel safe.
Who knows, 5 million more players? Might be back for round 2. I'm not gonna make any promises on that one, but shoot, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Here in the United Kingdom, we welcomed the Xbox Series X and S with a hologram chamber, with content spilling out and swirling around the console. Here's what that looks like.
last summer at E3, CD Projekt Red was front and center with their highly anticipated Cyberpunk 2077 reveal trailer. What happened next? Well, it was truly epic as the man himself, the face of Johnny Silverhand, Keanu Reeves, surprised the world on stage to kick off the presentation.
Please welcome Keanu Reeves.
Hello, Los Angeles. I gotta talk to you about something. Cyberpunk 2077. Check this out.
And just like then, we continue to celebrate Johnny Silverhand. In fact, this rebel music icon was also recently immortalized on the Xbox Walk of Fame, where the biggest Xbox moments and achievements are celebrated and literally cemented into history.
Oh, if you're gonna stay, I'll stay. Oh, it's fine. He's off killing somebody else anyway. Like, we're golden. Come on. Oh my god, that was such a close skill check. Is anyone saving that other person? Shnikes. Okay. I'm gonna go help that person on the hook. Oh, okay. You know what? We're not gonna go help that person. We're gonna let that person die. Oh, don't you bring them this way. Oh snap. Run. No. Oh my gosh. Run. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, what did you just pick up? No! I'm gonna end up dying. Oh my goodness. Well, do I continue as Lisa or do I go try to kill people? Oh, and thank you for the sub. Oh, did I get you? Where did you go, buddy? Hey, friend. Oh, hi, are you limping? Hey, what's up? Are you having a good time? I got this hook just for you. Just hang around. You know, have a good time. I just wanted to have a little chat. I'm in a frenzy right now. Oh, you are so lucky. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get cut? Do you need anything? You know what? Come here. Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, Bill? Oh, no. Okay, where'd you go? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, did you think you were gonna get away? No. Here, look, this is just for you. Yeah, you hang out there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm wrapping up here, and I hope that you get to enjoy your new consoles.
With Xbox Game Pass for PC, it's easier than ever to discover and play more than 100 games for your Windows 10 PC, including Xbox Game Studios titles the day they launch. Exploring the deep library of PC-first titles is easier than ever with the new Xbox app for Windows 10. Browse games, view recommendations, filter by genre, and download your next game. On December 15th, EA Play is coming to Xbox Game Pass for PC at no extra cost, featuring titles like FIFA, Battlefield, Mass Effect, Apex Legends, and a whole lot more.
From the US to France to Australia and finally back home to Great Britain, Playground Games redefines open world racing games every time they get behind the wheel. And now their most recent game, Forza Horizon 4, has been optimized for Xbox Series X and Series S. Here to walk us through the game on Xbox Series X are Mike Brown and Tom Butcher from Playground Games. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me.
Hey Larry, absolutely great to be here. Super excited for a console launch day. Can't wait to show everyone what we're working on.
There's nothing like a console launch day, and I'm so excited that you guys could join us here. Now, a lot of folks have been playing Forza Horizon 4 for a little while here, but what can they expect from Series X and Series S? Because this is a pretty big update.
Yeah, absolutely. You may well have played Forza Horizon before, but I think a key thing to know right now is there has never been a better time to play Forza Horizon 4. The Series X update adds a ton of new features to the game, but I think the key one that people are going to be really excited about is even if you were on the Xbox One X, you still had to choose whether you were going to play in 4K or you're going to play at 60 frames a second.
On the Series X, you no longer have to make that choice, and it will be a native 4K 60 all the time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's super crisp, super high performance. It looks amazing.
I mean, we can see it right here on the screen. A lot of folks have been playing this. Of course, this is part of Xbox Game Pass. So if you're a Game Pass member, you should be playing this right now. And when you get your new console, you'll just get to enjoy all these enhancements. Now we talked about the frame rate and whatnot unlocking, but what is this new generation of Xbox unlock in Forza Horizon 4 in addition to what you just mentioned?
Yeah, of course. So it's much better performance. We can lock in that resolution, lock in that frame rate, but we've also been able to take a full suite of visual upgrades and pump them up to the absolute max. So the easiest way to understand it would be it's a bit like running PC with everything set to Ultimate, but in a few areas it's even gone past what we've achieved on PC Ultimate. So things like shadow quality, reflection quality. I mean, if you look at the bonnet on the car right here, you can really see how crisp and how accurate all those reflections are on the bonnet of the car.
I want to point that out for a second, because we've seen this in the past with some of the previous generations, and I don't want to give away all the tricks of developers, but usually when you see a reflection, it tends to be a mapping that is kind of fixed. But as you can see here, as you said, on the bonnet of the car, this is real time reflecting what we're driving by. This is not just it's not just mapped on there, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a real-time reflection of the world around us. So it picks up all the environment, all the cars that we see around us. It's and I think that just as you can see, it's like a really quick, crisp, high quality. I think the thing that you kind of can overlook about it, you can look at that and you can see that's a really nice bit of technology, and it is very impressive. And I think Tom's doing a great job of keeping his eye on the road and not just focusing on the reflections there, which I think is a trap whenever you get into this view. But it's just the way it beds the whole scene together. It just makes everything feel like it's all taking place in the same world. It doesn't sometimes how in games, certainly on older generations, things can feel like they're not really in the scene together.
Right.
But with reflections like this, and I think the shadows as well, which we can see now and we'll get a look at as we play through, everything just fits together in the whole scene. Every single frame just looks that much more realistic.
I don't think I've ever seen a cleaner car on a snowy drive than this. This looks fantastic. Now, for those players, for gamers that haven't played Forza Horizon 4, what makes Horizon unique among racing games?
So, yeah, I mean, I think Horizon, although it absolutely has racing in it, that is a huge component of it. I think the thing that makes it unique is that we try and think of it as a driving game first, and we focus on the joy of driving. Yeah. So even though I would say we have excellent racing and excellent race routes, I think like what Tom is doing right now, where he's just driving around these vast open worlds, it's just such a laid-back, relaxing experience. So if anyone has even the slightest passing interest in cars at all, or just exploring beautiful places, then they're a really great game for you to just relax, sit back, and drive around and explore these beautiful places in hundreds and hundreds of cars. I think it's that.
I must tell you, Tom, I'm impressed because I've played a lot of Forza Horizon, and by now I'd be screaming through somebody's back garden. I don't know how you're staying. I mean, I know you're staying on the road because you're a great driver, but that's the beautiful part of the Forza Horizon series, is that the road is there we go, is certainly part of it, but you can just go off and do stuff like this that you can't really do in any other type of racing game. That's just fun.
Yeah, it's you know what? Having a couple of hours just racing, sat here waiting to get on the show, gave me a little bit of practice. So I've spent my time spinning off the road already.
Yeah, there was definitely a few cars that he jumped into and goes, well, maybe this isn't the right car for winter.
It's a carefully curated list.
One of the things with Forza Horizon is certainly it's a racing game and you can race your friends. Will two friends on next gen be able to load into races faster, or how are you handling that?
Yeah, so if you've got two friends, both of you playing on Xbox Series X or S, and you're in a convoy together, or you're in any kind of Xbox Live party, you will absolutely benefit from all of the super fast loading updates that we've been able to make to the game. I don't know if you guys caught it there, but Tom just swapped cars. We swapped from that Porsche 911 GT3 RS into the Lexus LFA. That load used to be about 7 or 8 seconds, even on the Xbox One X, and it was about 1 second there. So. All of our load times have been cut to, I want to say almost nothing, but I don't want to over-egg it, but so fast that you barely even notice. And absolutely, if you were both loading into an online race together, then yeah, you would
you'd both benefit from that.
And that's one of the points I want to point out is that, this is part of the Xbox Series X and S, the next generation architecture. We've got this amazing, this velocity architecture, which allows this incredible read-write speed from the storage device that's frankly is unbelievably fast. And I've been testing it for many months with Horizon and some other games. And load screens are now, as you said, are seconds, if that. So to see a game which is so incredible, an open world game like Forza Horizon 4, to see it load so quickly, being able to swap in and out of cars so quickly, I mean, that alone is impressive, let alone how well it works. Tell us a little bit about crossplay. How does crossplay work in the Forza Horizon 4 series?
Yeah, so I think the great answer to that is that it just works.
Yeah.
And Tom, right now, we are playing on my Xbox. We're playing in retail. This is my account. And all the people that Tom sees around the world with him, I noticed that there's no one on screen right now, but Tom is currently in a real life session. And these people, presumably, because the console's only just come out, are not playing on the Xbox Series X. All these people in the world with him are just other people either playing on PC or playing on a normal Xbox One.
Right.
So I think the great answer to that is it just works. There are no hiccups, no boundaries. If your friend's on PC and your other friend is on the original Xbox One and you're on the Xbox Series X, you guys can party up together and take part in all of the content in the game. Almost every single thing in the game is available in co-op as well, so you guys can just join together and have a real fun.
And also, I mean, there's also maybe some players on xCloud, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, great call out. Which I've been playing on xCloud lately, actually, and it's surprisingly good. It's almost become like I've probably put more hours in the last few weeks via xCloud than via my Xbox, just because I can just play it while I'm sat on the sofa and half watching TV with my wife.
Right. Yeah. Just kind of go through some things here.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I should have called that one out. So PC, Xbox Series X, and of course xCloud as well.
You showed the quick loading of swapping into vehicles, and here we are in this Jeep right now, and this is exactly what a Jeep should be doing. So you're doing a great job here, staying off the road. But tell us about the hardware features like quick resume. This is a feature we've heard a lot about in some of the previews and reviews over the past few days. But unless you experience it, it's really tough to explain. But maybe you guys can show it off here. I don't know if you're prepared to do that. But how does it change the Forza Horizon 4 experience?
Well, I think, do you want to jump into Horizon 3? I think I've got it. This is risk now because we didn't know this was coming.
Yeah, but see, so this is live, so anything can happen here. So here you're loading a Forza Horizon 3.
We're going live. Let's see if Horizon 3 does a quick resume. This Xbox has been unplugged, so we might have lost it.
That's quite all right.
Okay, so I don't. Oh no, it is. It's done it. So yes, I think.
So you can see the quick resume in the upper right-hand corner. So it's actually doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing it. So I think one of the great same car. Who'd have thought it?
Oh, and we're on the Hot Wheels track too.
So I think just to go back to your question there, Larry, I think a few of the things we talked about here are all about keeping people playing, get you playing fast, get you playing with your friends as fast as possible. And I, like you, have been experiencing the console for the last few weeks and months, and I've just found that it feels like it respects my time so much more.
Yeah.
Like whereas you used to just not even notice that you'd go and boot up a game, like Tom can jump back into Horizon 4 now, and you'd know that from this point you probably had 2 minutes before you were going to be in the game. So you'd have your phone out, you'd be checking Twitter, checking Reddit, maybe you'd even go and get a drink or something while you're waiting for the late game to get in there.
Right.
But now from clicking it from the other game to being in the gameplay, it's down to about 15 or 20 seconds. And it just feels like it didn't quit resume. What a perfect opportunity for us to demonstrate just how quick the game loads from, skip that. So unfortunately, Horizon 4 for some reason didn't quick resume there when we jumped into Horizon 3. Not sure what that is, but it's a perfect opportunity for us to kind of demonstrate that point I was just saying about how much more it respects your time.
Yeah.
So our load from dash into game used to be about 140 seconds. And now from a cold boot, so you're not using quick resume going into the game, it's down to about 40 seconds, which we'll see now. There you go. That looks might have even been faster than that.
Yeah, there we go. Look at this.
I think it really enables those social moments where you have a friend like message you, hey, do you want to play some Horizon 4 or something else?
Yeah.
And you can quickly jump into that and just be in the game with them.
Yeah.
And we're back in the same car again.
Yeah. Love this car.
And it just works so well with Game Pass as well, because I think with Game Pass, you're much more likely to have a few games that you're currently jumping in and out of and playing, or you might well have friends that are playing Ghost Recon, and so you want to have. Oh, sorry, Rainbow Six. I mean, I've been playing there. So you might have some friends in Rainbow Six. Hey, should we jump into Forza? And then within a few seconds, you're all playing this new game. I think it just feels like the whole experience is respecting you as a gamer that much more and giving you that much more time playing the games you love and not sat around waiting.
What we're seeing some of the beautiful vistas here, the reflections. We saw the bonnet earlier, and we saw some snow as we loaded up here. What are some of the updates that you've added here that will affect details in the environment that are enabled by this hardware?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, and I don't want this to be the default answer to all of these related questions, but it's a bit like you're playing on PC Ultra. So every single asset that you see in the environment, like you can see these little bits of bush and grass here, those trees. We've been able to increase the level of detail on all of those items as far out as you possibly can, really, so that even those very, very distant objects, those very distant trees, are actually still really full of luster. They're really high quality. They're still able to cast really detailed shadows. And that's something that you may not have noticed in games last gen, that like stuff that's a little bit further away from the camera isn't usually quite as high detail. Right. But once you kind of flick that switch and you've done it, the whole image just sits together that much more. And as I say, it then feeds into other systems like lighting and shadows, and everything is able to just be that much more authentic and realistic.
And it's also important to point out that, regardless of whether you have Xbox One, Xbox Series X or S, with smart delivery, you're going to get the best version of whatever hardware you're running it on. Our systems are going to make sure that you have that best version. So that's what's. So you don't have to worry about anything. You just have to make sure, just play and drive off-road and have fun. I want to talk to you about, we're seeing a little bit of winter here, but how will the new hardware change the look of some of the game from season to season? Because Horizon is all about the season of the game, summer and winter, spring and fall. How does that work?
Right, Larry. Well, I think it's a perfect opportunity now for Tom to jump into a race. In fact, it's a perfect opportunity for us to do an entire cross-map load. So if we fast travel over there, this used to probably be around 30 to 40 seconds. That was about 3 seconds.
Wow.
So first of all, we managed to travel completely across the map in only a few seconds.
Yeah.
It's in Dropline Custom. Yeah, you do that one. So we're going to have to use a blueprint event, which is like a custom-made event, so that we can switch seasons, because normally the game tries to keep you in there. So again, now this is one of our worst loading scenarios, when you're having to change from winter into one of the other seasons, usually around a minute and a half. I didn't time that one. Probably around 10 seconds.
Very sure. Right. I wish seasons changed that quickly for real.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing that people probably experience that often, because the season lasts a week.
Sure.
And so you'd only have to really experience that change once a week. But it's still great that we've been able to make that improvement. So now we're looking at Tom taking on this race in summer. He told me he's picked this car because it'll make light work of this route. So let's hold him to that and see if he can get the win.
Big pressure.
I mean, you can certainly see some more of the detail. We've talked about the reflections. The sun, obviously, in summer is different. The lighting is different. You can see it in the distant trees here, kind of the shadowing. There's all sorts of nuances that, again, it's a series of little things in some games that will add up to just an overall crisper experience. And one of those, of course, is 4K 60. Tell us more about what that difference means for gamers. You talked about it at the beginning of the interview.
Yeah, so, you're absolutely right, Larry. I think that, and I'm careful too much not to complain about the experience of the previous consoles, because a few weeks ago, I loved my Xbox One X and thought that it was absolutely brilliant playing this game in 60 frames a second on it. But I can only do that at 1080p, and you always had to make that choice, make that trade-off, just because that was the technology of our time. But fortunately, we are now no longer limited by that technology, and you don't have to make that choice. You can get 4K and 60 frames a second at the exact same time, every frame. It's super smooth, super high quality. It's with the addition of everything else we've just described. So massively increased shadow quality, massively increased reflection quality. Just every single frame just has that much more luster, that much more quality, that much more realism to it.
From winter to summer here, we've traveled. We've gone all the way across the map. We've changed seasons. We've changed into multiple vehicles. We even changed games. So it's been quite a demo you guys have been giving us. Tell us, do you have anything else you want to tell us before we let you go?
Should we jump into the spring showcase?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of summer. We'll show a little bit of spring as well, just because it gives us a bit of rain, a bit of wet mud, which again allows us to really see all those improvements. So yes, that was a load back into winter for no reason, just so we can load straight out of it.
We're gonna wander through winter.
I think that is I guess a thing to note, isn't it? That the amount of jumping in and out of different activities that we've done here would have, in normal scenarios, made for a pretty poor demo, just for the amount of time that we would have been sat watching the load.
Right.
So I think one thing we will mention is you check our lady there, who is my character.
Yep.
You can just about see under her jacket that Xbox Series X t-shirt. So when we've had a quick look at this race, we'll show people how they can get their hands on that as well.
All right, here we go. Great looking car.
God, no, I didn't practice this one just before.
This one's actually quite difficult as well, so don't worry, we won't go right. We won't go right to the end of it, so we won't have to embarrass you about losing to the right.
So this year we're racing the motorcycles.
Yes, that's right. And one of the cool things we can see in this particular thing is we talk so much about frame rate, about resolution, about shadows, about reflections. One of the great things we see here is our improved particle systems. So you have these flares attached to the back of the bikes. The plumes come off those are able to be that much more thick and realistic. Every time that we see Tom's car drop through a puddle, it's splashing up more higher quality water particles than it could have done previously. So again, just as you asked before about what effect does it have on different seasons, I think this is just an example of in spring where it's really wet. We get to see you skip the puddle. You know, I'm trying to show the
He's
puddle.
avoiding the puddles.
I'm weighing up showing off the game versus embarrassing myself.
There you go. You just get a much more realistic, a much more authentic reaction from those puddles.
It's fantastic. Now, you guys were showing the shirt a little bit earlier. How do folks get that shirt?
Yeah, do you want to quit out of this before you lose and embarrass yourself? And
I've got to thread the needle.
I feel like he's doing so well, he doesn't want to quit. I know the feeling.
Had a good start.
It's rare, and I know it's been captured on camera as well.
Yes, we dropped back in. So
a moment ago, you were showing that your character had a nice shirt.
Do you want to tell us about it, Tom?
Yeah. Okay. So the Series X T-shirt is available to all players. You don't have to have the Series X, but it certainly helps. And you can access that by going to one of your player houses. Just find this one conveniently in the forest here.
Kingfisher Cottage. Now this could be for any of your player house. You don't have to be in Kingfisher Cottage. You're not raiding somebody else's closet.
No. And you head to customize character. We put a jacket on, but we'll take that off in a moment. And then head to tops, and there it is. It'll be unlocked for everyone, and you can just select it and enjoy a summery Xbox Series X T-shirt.
And that's fantastic. And that's again for anybody who has Forza Horizon 4. And if you have Game Pass, you've already got it. If you don't have Game Pass, sign up. If you just want to buy the game, that's fine too. But everybody gets access to this. It looks fantastic. The game is amazing. Forza Horizon 4, again, optimized for Xbox Series X and S. Gentlemen, thank you for your time today. Thanks for coming on the stream. But with the holidays coming up, you got to have something else that Forza Horizon fans can look forward to.
Yeah, that's right. I think I said right at the top that there's never been a better time to jump in and play Forza Horizon 4, and that is absolutely true. I don't want people to think that they played it when it came out back in 2018 and that they've seen all it has to offer, because we've still been working on it and releasing monthly updates every single month. Since then, there's new cars coming. There's added hundreds of new cars since launch. There's loads of new features, loads of new activities, and we are absolutely not done yet. We have some very, very exciting things still to come this year. So I would tell people to watch this space and keep an eye on all things Forza, because we've got some very exciting updates for the end of the year.
All right, Mike Brown, Tom Butcher from Playground Games. Thank you, gentlemen. It's always great to see you guys, and keep up the great work over there on Playground Games.
Thanks very much, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
We're currently in the middle of the second big charity giveaway of the day, a HyperX Cloud Alpha Gold gaming headset. As a reminder, every 15 minutes, we're giving away a 3-month Game Pass Ultimate subscription for donations to Make-A-Wish International, which helps support children and families in need all over the world. Head on over to xbox.softgiving.com for more information. If you missed this one, we'll have one more big giveaway later in the stream, so stay tuned.